So what are my responsibilities? My first responsibility is I need to learn my personal signs of when a fuse is about to blow. That's nobody else's responsibility but mine. I have to know my signals and know what's going on in my head. Sometimes I can't stop a fuse from blowing or switching, but I have the choice of if I'm going to feed it and put my foot on the gas pedal and make more of a wreck, or if I'm going to leave the burn fuse in, or if I'm going to replace it. I have to make a choice. And I also have to realize there is no such thing as a little bit out of control. There's no such thing as a partially blown fuse. Once it gets set in motion, it's going in motion. And so I need to know my tricks, my habits, my protocol that I put in place to control it. It's almost impossible to simply stop the truck after it started skidding out of control. That's why I have to be aware of what's going on in my head. I have to develop the ability to recognize when the truck is about to start spinning out of control. And I need to regain it to minimize damage when it does start spinning out of control. I need to keep it from hitting things and hurting people and just interfering. I can't just think, well, I'll let it spin a little out of control. There is no little out of control. I can't just think, well, I'm autistic, so they have to take it. I can't simply flash my autism card and think my behavior will be acceptable and won't affect others. I have to realize that others have feelings, others have their limits, and I can't just think that my overload is a free pass to say and do whatever comes into my head. I alone am responsible for what goes into my head. I alone am responsible for what goes on in my head, and I alone am responsible for my actions. I must realize that other people around me have their own struggles, their own battles, emotions, limits, and they have the capacity to respond to my actions. It's not a free pass. I may be able to turn things on and off, but I have to realize the impact it makes on others who may not share in my ability to simply flip a switch. I can't be surprised when other people react negatively to my overloads. It's still my truck, and it's still affecting them. My goal should be my ability to maintain control, regardless of how fast and wacky the truck is speeding. And this includes training my brain to follow specific protocol. I do this by watching my thoughts, forcing my brain to meditate on healthy things. And these are things that I do when I'm not melting down. JFK said the best time to fix a leaky roof was when it's not raining outside. And that's the same thing with our thoughts. We fix these things when nothing's going wrong. I don't want to intentionally add negative things to the basket, especially when I'm in a good place. I don't need to sit there and make bad scenarios or think the what if scenarios. If somebody does this, I'm going to say that. And I need to stop that. Very easy for me to get into those ruts where I'm thinking things like that. But I know that they don't have positive outcomes. What I meditate on when I am calm is what will come out of me when I am upset. So I need to develop healthy thought habits when things are going good and when things are not going good.